How long did it take to put away that last game?
It took a while. I mean, it always is. No matter at the end of the year, if you don't win the last one, you do a little bit of thinking and think about what if and this and that. But through the years, I've been able to kind of move forward a little bit easier and a little bit quicker. And I think that's the key to life is when you have some ups and downs, and you have to learn to move forward. And as you get more mature, I guess you get better at doing that. But it was disheartening. Very high expectations, and just didn't get it done at the wrong time. But take nothing away from that team. They had an outstanding year and a lot of fun to coach, a lot of fun to watch play. Unfortunately, but fortunately, our goal is to get to the College World Series and play the last game of the season. So anything less than that, it's always a disappointment.
What impressed you, I guess, most about the way kind of Taylor pulled through it and is bouncing back?
Yeah, and Taylor is, unfortunately, in this game, you have to go through the trials and tribulations to mature, whether it's mentally or it's emotionally. And I think that definitely helped her establish herself and her foundation for this year. I think she's a different kid right now. She knows she's going to get the ball a lot, and she's got a lot of confidence. And I think sometimes you got to get knocked down and be able to get up to realize that there's certain things you have control over, and you just got to control those every day. Not wait till the big moment. And I'm very impressed and very pleased with where she's at right now.
Do you have a progress update on Alyssa Palomino and her knee injury?
Yeah, Alyssa's doing well. I would say right now, if I put a percentage to it, she's probably 80%. Doing everything but making some quick cuts. But she's playing the outfield, hitting, a little bit ginger on running the bases right now with some quick cuts. But I like where she's at right now. She's swinging the bat well, and definitely anxious to put on a uniform and get ready to play.
Do you anticipate her still being in the outfield?
I'm toying with a few things right now. The one thing about this team, we have 23 kids on the roster right now, and so we have a lot of different options. And if I told you that I know exactly who's going to be starting the first game of the season, I'd be lying to you right now. We're still looking at some different options. She's worked a little bit at first base for us. She's obviously worked in the outfield, but I think at the end of the day, it's going to be whatever it takes for us to be the most successful, both offensively and defensively, and whatever makes sense at that moment, knowing that that's probably going to change throughout the year numerous times.
When you see a situation fall apart at another school like it did at Louisiana, what's your process to begin to evaluate whether there's pieces there that you could add?
Well, I really didn't. Mike Latif's a very good friend of mine, and I would probably consider myself a mentor for him through his career. And so when it all went down, we had talked. I obviously wasn't out looking at that time, but at this stage of the game, you're always looking, for someone who can walk in and help you. But you've got to be very careful that it's not just a great player, but a quality human being that's going to fit in because they're walking in January. This team's been together since September. So the chemistry of this team is very important for us. The culture is very important for me. And it had to be the right fit. And luckily, it was the right fit. And we just fortunately had the opportunity at that time to bring in a couple of kids. And I think both of them will have a chance to help us. It's, people say, well, how are they? And I'm going, well, I'm trying to feel them out too. I'm watching them every day. We're doing a lot of live work right now so that I get a chance to see them under the gun. But I think if I gave you a report today, I think both young ladies have a chance of helping us. And they blended in quite well. They're good people. They work hard, and so it may be one of those situations where it's a good fit. I'm not really big on transfers, to be honest with you, but in today's world, they're becoming more and more common. And I think at the end of the day, you got to answer the right questions about your program and about your culture and whether those kids fit in.
How comfortable are you with having Jesse move across to short?
Very comfortable. I mean, Jesse Harper is a kid that comes to play every day, and she was a high school shortstop. She played shortstop in travel ball when I recruited her. I feel very comfortable that she's going to give us everything that she has. She needs to gain a little maturity at that position, which she will. But there's no doubt that she will give us everything that she has, and I think she's definitely an above-average shortstop. So I feel comfortable right now with her there.
How does having Mo here help? Jesse kind of said she was like a personal coach.
Yeah, very good. I mean, it's it's fun to watch kids grow, and it seems like by the time they get to be seniors, man, they have everything kind of put together, and which is nice. And so to be able to keep someone like Mo around, Mo played in the pro league this summer, and I think really has matured nicely as a player, and I think she has a lot to offer young kids, but not just Mo, but Chelsea Goodacre, Nancy Bowling's around right now. So it's good to have people like that closer to their age that they can talk to and work through the tough times.
Who do you see taking over your 3 spot?
Well, it could be numerous people. At this point, I really don't know at this point, but I think the middle of our lineup will be pretty strong, as it has been. I think the thing you're going to see this year that we've added is, I think, a little more overall speed. And to me, I like that because speed doesn't ever go into a slump. It's usually something you can count on each and every game, and I think we have, Jenna Keene, I think, brings in someone that is legitimately a 2.7, 2.8 runner down the line, which makes her tough to throw out if she puts the ball in play. And I think overall our speed is much better than it's been for a while. So I think where they're going to hit, I really see this as kind of a group that there's not a lot of solidification as we walk into the season right now. I think you're going to see a lot more lineup changes and giving kids a chance to find out what really works for us. But we have numerous kids that can hit in that spot. Deja can hit in that spot, Harper can hit in that spot, Palomino can hit in that spot. Aaliyah Creighton swings the bat well enough. So I think the middle of our lineup's going to have some good hitters with power, and we'll be surrounded by some good speed. So if the speed can get on base and we can drive in runs, I think offensively this team's going to be good. My biggest concern right now is this game's played in the circle, and so like every year, our pitching staff's going to have a big part as to how well we do and how far we go.
With that said, I mean, from the minute Taryn went into coaching, people that watch this program were counting the days till she was standing on this field next to you. How's that experience been now, and what have you liked?
I absolutely love it. I mean, I couldn't think of a better situation. A young lady that I think understands the skill. I mean, she's matured a lot since a player, has developed into a good coach, brings an intensity to the ballpark each and every day that I think our pitching staff needs to feel. And the thing about her, she's very cool, calm, and collective, so she's a good opposite of me, and I think she will be a great addition to this program, and I think we'll do an outstanding job for us along with Caitlin. And Stacy did a wonderful job for us and is in a little different role right now, but will be in a really valuable role. So I really feel good about the people I've surrounded myself with. My dad used to say, always make sure you surround yourself with great people. And I think I've done that, but they're not just great people, but they're also, I think, very good coaches.
What do you say, though, to the critics that say you surround yourself with people that aren't going to necessarily challenge you?
I don't know those critics. The only people I listen to really are people that are in the sport, that are on the field. I think it makes all the sense in the world in a program like this to be able to keep the family unit together. And when you have a kid that has wore the uniform, that's been in a circle, that's been in the championship game, that bleeds red and blue, I think you can't go wrong. I think that is definitely a big factor. And on the other hand, I think that's probably poor insight on their part, that they really don't know what these kids have to offer. We spend a lot of time talking, and I'm not a guy that's stuck on my ways. I'm trying to do whatever I can to reach this generation and this culture, and they help me each and every day to to do that. So it's always work in progress. I don't try to surround myself with people that don't say anything. That is not the purpose of who I am and what I bring into this program. And unfortunately, it's bad information on their part.
Anything else for Coach?
I was going to ask, how do you think having two of the transfers makes it easier for them to transition into the program instead of being by themselves?
Hit me with that again.
How much easier do you think it is for the two transfers to integrate themselves into the team since they have another person that's doing it with them, they're not coming in by themselves?
I don't know. You'd have to ask them. You know, we try to do whatever we can to make sure they feel welcomed, and on the other hand, we also make sure that they understand what they're getting into. You know, we have a culture that they have to abide by, and if that's their choice, and so as long as that happens, then you know, my job is to try to make their transition as smooth as possible. My job is to make sure that these kids are prepared for life after softball too. So there's a lot more that goes into it than the wins and losses.
Anything else for Coach? Thanks, Coach.
All right.
Let's go.